In its latest review on fuel prices, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) removed the subsidies of 7 shillings and 10 cents on petrol, 9 shillings and 90 cents on diesel, and 11 shillings and 36 cents on kerosene. Lawmakers want the Cabinet Secretaries for Petroleum and Energy to explain why the subsidies were stopped.
In its latest review of fuel prices, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) removed the subsidies of 7 shillings and 10 cents on petrol, 9 shillings and 90 cents on diesel, and 11 shillings and 36 cents on kerosene. Lawmakers want the Cabinet Secretaries for Petroleum and Energy to explain why the subsidies were stopped.
That subsidy is not necessarily sustainable because it relies on income from the fuel levy. And if you keep the prices suppressed, then obviously there's no income. And my considered opinion is that that fuel levy has now run out and the prices have to revert back to the original pricing formula.
The fuel subsidy kept diesel and kerosene prices unchanged since April at 107 shillings and 66 cents and 97 shillings and 85 cents a litre, while petrol had remained unchanged at 127 shillings and 14 cents since June.
The pricing formula that is being used now in terms of trying to put subsidies, in my view, is not sustainable in the long term, especially if the prices continue going up and the government doesn't have enough revenue to be able to sustain the subsidy.
And even as the members of parliament go head-to-head with the cabinet secretaries, the question remains: who will bail out Kenyans from the miasma of high fuel prices?
Almost 50% of the value of fuel is as a result of levies and taxes. If you reduce a lot of the levies and modify the taxes, you will actually find that the fuel cost in Kenya would be cheaper than in Uganda and Rwanda. But at the moment, because of the additional loading of levies on the fuel, the price is much higher. Now, why is the price that high? It's because the government, the executive, requires income from some source. But that income is required to fund something else. So the legislature is also increasing a lot of the costs of the legislature itself. So the issue of pensions going up, the issue of salaries going up, the issue of allowances going up, the number of sittings, etc., all that is funded from the government.
Brenda Kerubo, KTN News.
Right, let's interrupt that business news segment and bring you breaking news. Ofafa Jericho High School is on fire. Ofafa Jericho High School